Hey everyone, I'm back after 3 wonderful days from being out of town. Like I said before I went away, I didn't want to tell you all where I was going until I actually came back, so I'm going to reveal that secret and let you all know where I've been. I have been in Maryland. I spent 3 wonderful days in beautiful Baltimore. The two B's, BB, beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, BBM. And let me tell you, it is a delightful city. There are so many fun things to do, and it can be hard to pick things to do because there's just so much there. It's right on the harbor, there's museums, there's a beautiful aquarium that I myself checked out, and it's just a bustling, lively city. It's kind of can be an overwhelming city, and kind of an obnoxious city, but at the end of the day, it's worth driving 5 hours from here, upstate New York, to get down there. So after we left for Baltimore on Wednesday the 13th, and after dropping off our cat at the vet, we made our way down there. We drove through PA. And PA is can be a boring state, but it's also a pretty state. There are lots and lots of mountains there. So we stopped at Harrisburg at a Ruby Tuesday. I had never ever been to Ruby Tuesday in my life, and we had a gift card there. In fact, it was a gift card that I had given my dad for his birthday back in January. And we stopped in Harrisburg, PA. I'm sure some of you out there are familiar with Harrisburg. And the Ruby Tuesday there was good. The food was delicious. We got the soup and salad bar. The salad bar is an all-you-can-eat salad bar, and let me all tell you, it's the best one ever. It's big. There's all sorts of ingredients there. You know, you name any vegetable, it'll be there on that bar. And I was just impressed with Ruby Tuesdays. It's a very expensive restaurant, though. You know, it has to be a special occasion for anyone to go there. So after lunch, we continued the journey and made our way down to Hunt Valley, Maryland, which is where we stayed. We stayed at a Marriott Courtyard there. Hunt Valley, Maryland is 20 miles north of Baltimore. And it's about the size of any suburb town outside of any big city. There were a lot of shops there, restaurants. We were right near the interstate, so it was very convenient. So we didn't actually head to downtown Baltimore the same day we got there. By the time we checked into our hotel, which was mid-afternoon, we unpacked, I took a nap, and we just got settled into the hotel. And then after that, we had to go out, run some errands. We drove around Hunt Valley. Just such a nice, quaint town. It had a southern feeling to it. I mean, Maryland, I don't know if Maryland is a southern state. I mean, it's not a mid-Atlantic state like Delaware or New Jersey, but it has just such a nice, cozy feeling to it. The people down there are so friendly. You go down south, and there's the southern hospitality. We got a lot of that in Maryland. We weren't that south. So after running some errands, we ate dinner at a nice Chinese restaurant there in town, and then after that we had a few more stores to go to, and then we went back to the hotel. I went swimming in the pool, and that completed the day pretty much. And then we wake up the next day, we have breakfast at the hotel, and then we made our way to the train station to take the train into the heart of downtown Baltimore. Now, the train ride itself was very long, repetitive, and tedious, and there was a reason for this. The train had this very repetitious pattern. There was a problem on the train, where the train would stop, then go, then stop, and go. That's the pattern it was. It was just, I just couldn't wait to get off. And some people on the train were very ticked off, especially this one guy. There was this black guy in the train that had to be somewhere, and he was just in a very bad mood. He kept ranting and raving and ranting and raving and all that. But, you know, I had high hopes. I knew we were going to get to the city. I'm a very optimistic traveler. When you're traveling, you have to be patient because stuff can go wrong. You just got to go with the flow and roll with the tides. You know, anytime you're traveling, you're always going to run into trouble. It doesn't matter whether you're driving or taking a plane or you're on the train. You know, sometimes you have to deal with annoying traffic. Baltimore especially had a lot of heavy traffic. That's what made the city obnoxious. But it's a beautiful city, though. Beautiful architecture. So by the time we got down there, we got off at the O'Reilly Stadium, which is a pretty famous stadium. And we were right near the harbor, and with all this activity going on, we didn't know what we were going to do. We had to vote on something. It was just me and my mom and dad, just the three of us. So we walked around the harbor a little bit, which was a lot of fun. The weather was beautiful. It was in the 70s that day. And then we did this boat ride later in the day. And on the harbor, inside the harbor, like going to Chesapeake Bay. It was a speedboat ride. That was very entertaining. So that took about maybe 90 minutes, hour and a half, maybe 50 minutes, maybe an hour, I don't remember. So after the boat ride, we had more time to kill, so we went to this art museum called the American Visionary Art Museum. And let me tell you all, it was an amazing experience. It wasn't just traditional art. It was actually artwork made from non-traditional art materials. So some of the stuff was bizarre, some of the stuff was very funky, but it was just so worth it at the end of the day to go there. So after spending some time there, we went to Little Italy, which is an Italian section of Baltimore. We're Italian, so we wanted to get a taste of, you know, Italy and America. And we went to this really good Italian restaurant, had dinner there, and then after dinner we made our way to CVS because I had a craving for a cigar. Now, I haven't told you to do any of this out there, but I smoke cigars. It's a very bad habit. Smoking is very bad for you. But I'm not a regular cigar smoker. I don't do it on a regular basis, day-to-day basis. I can't say I'm an occasional cigar smoker because I don't do it like once a year for just a special occasion. I would say I do it a few times a month, like maybe every other week. It's just, you know, it's nothing wrong with an occasional cigar. You know, cigars too, unlike cigarettes, are not inhaled. You know, they are smelly though, and they can make you sick, but you don't want to inhale them. But they're just as bad as cigarettes. They have the same toxic chemicals. And some of you out there might think to yourself, why is Travel Boy 92 smoke cigars? He seems so smart enough for that. You know, I can honestly say that I've always found smoking cool. It's not cool. It causes lung cancer, makes it hard to breathe. It's just an awful habit to get into. But I've always liked the smell of smoke. I don't know why. I mean, secondhand smoke is very deadly. To breathe in those chemicals could cause lung cancer. But I just really enjoy smoking once in a while. I don't know. It sounds terrible, but I really enjoy being a cigar smoker. So my dad and I were walking around Baltimore. He smoked a cigar and I smoked a cigar. 2 peach-flavored cigars. I smoked flavored cigars and I smoke very cheap cigars. Smoking is very expensive, but I just stick to the cheap brands. So after that, we went on the train and we made our way back to Hunt Valley. And by the time we got back to the hotel, it was night, so I got on my swim stuff and went into the hot tub. The hot tub there was so nice and soothing after a long, hard day. It was just felt so good to go in there. So me and my dad did that, and then by the time I got back to my hotel room, it was time to go to bed. So that's what we did. I took a shower, then went straight to bed. And then the next morning, which would have been Friday, we wake up and we went out for breakfast at McDonald's. And then after that, we didn't want to go to downtown Baltimore right away. So we went to this different part of Maryland, and we went to this beautiful mansion. It was a historic site. And let me tell you, the mansion was just delightful. So we got a nice tour of that. And then after that, we went to the seafood restaurant and got crab cake, which was delicious. And then after that, my parents and I kind of went our separate ways. They wanted to go to an art museum, and I wanted to go to the aquarium. So they didn't want to go to the aquarium. And they know I'm responsible, so what could I possibly do wrong at an aquarium? I don't know, maybe swim with the dolphins, or maybe steal some fish, but I'm not a bad kid. So while I was at the aquarium, they were at the art museum in Maryland, in Baltimore, one of the other art museums. And the aquarium itself was just so fun. It was just so fun to see fish up close, so fun to see sharks up close. So I spent a good 2 hours there. And then after that, we made our way towards one of the colleges there to meet up with my cousin Stacy. It was nice to see her again. We spent the whole evening with her. She's a very fun person to be around, has a good sense of humor, very talkative, very creative. She's an art major, so she has that art mind to her. So after spending an evening with her, we dropped her off at her dormitory, and then we went back to the hotel. And then our last night at the hotel, I didn't do anything. I didn't go in the hot tub. I just lingered around a little bit, took a shower, and then made it straight to bed. And then the next morning, which was Saturday morning, I woke up and we got packed up. It was yesterday. It was time to go home. So we had breakfast at McDonald's again, and then we had a few stops to make, and then we made our way home, and we stopped at the Olive Garden back in on the way back in Wilkes-Barre, PA, which was delicious. So overall, this was the trip. It was a very short trip, but it was short and sweet. So coming home was bittersweet. I know that's a lot of alliteration, but it was worth it. Any of you out there who haven't been to Baltimore, you gotta go. It's just a beautiful place to go. So now it's Sunday afternoon, and now I am home. I have a full week of school. I'm kind of ready to go back tomorrow. I'm kind of not, but I have a 4-day week this week. Then I have Friday off because it's Good Friday. So then I'll have a 3-day weekend, and then I have school all next week, and then we'll be into May, and then we'll be into June, and then that will be the end of the year. So I hope you guys enjoy listening to me talk about my Baltimore experience, and I hope to make another video soon. Take care now. Bye.